own land for $200 that you could flip for thousands of dollars. Have you ever wished you had a time machine and you could go back in time to when the settlers came to America and bought up all the land for just a few $100 by just kind of like staking their claim? We think those days are over. However, there are some secret spots where you can still buy land and property for a couple $100 if you know where to go. And it is called the wonderful world of over-the-counter tax deeds. It's one of the last great frontiers of cheap real estate that you can get into, buy property, and really start to build your retirement and your future through real estate. So here in today's stream and video, we're going to go and show you guys some locations of some cheap over-the-counter tax deed property so that you can get started in real estate and start to make some money in this game. So we're going to dive in, and it's going to be a great time. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, it's Dustin Hahn here, and this channel is dedicated to helping you make money in real estate through the wonderful world of tax lien and deed investing. And this is now the largest channel on YouTube when it comes to tax liens and deeds. We have 3,600 videos, and our website, Tax Lien School, provides the most free information to tax lien and deed investors. And we want to make this information accessible to you so you can set yourself up for retirement and not have to worry about, the golden age being the rust age. So we're going to do that with some cheap property. And for everybody that tunes in, there's always this book below in the description to help you get started and tune in. So if you like making money in real estate, this could be the spot for you. And let's go ahead. Let's bring in the boys here. Mr. Josh Blanchard, Court Chase. How you guys doing today?
Yo, hey, Dustin. Good.
Excellent.
Hello.
Josh, that is one heck of a beard coming in.
Thank you.
So we're going to get right to it. We're going to go and look at some of these properties available now. However, a bit of a warning. These are, this is real estate. There is some risk involved. We don't pretend to be doctors on the internet or lawyers, so we have to learn how to do research. You have to do research as well, and we'll walk you guys through that. However, it's one of those things. We have to give the standard disclaimer here today, but we're going to look at these properties and we'll show you how we will go about it as if we were going to buy these properties. If you're tuning in, let us know who's here, your city and your name and your city. And we can tailor the stream as we go. So we got some goodies here that act fast, because when folks watch this, sometimes they buy it on the fly while we're live, and early bird gets the worm. So here we go.
All right. Hello. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Let us know where you're at. And we've got some good stuff for you today. So this is the city of Johnstown, New York. And you can actually buy stuff in this city in New York for $1,000. And so this is the website right here, cityofjohnstown.ny. You can go ahead, take a screenshot of that URL. And when you scroll down here, you see there is a minimum bid of $1,000 for each property. And so each county or each state or, different cities are going to have different minimum bids or what they're willing to accept. And so I think $1,000 is pretty good. And so there may be some good deals in here, and it's pretty easy to see them. All we got to do is click here to view a list of city-owned property. Now, a lot of times this stuff could be landlocked. It could be like a sliver of a parcel, or it could be a full piece of land. It could be a couple acres. It's hard to say. And so we're always interested in seeing what's going on. I will tell you that on the right here, you can see when this became county owned, more or less. And so the stuff that is 2016 most likely is, really, really bad. Let's take a look at one as an example. We've got the parcel number here. It says it's on Whitmore Ave, but no street access. I'm going to go ahead, copy that. And we're going to throw it up in Regrid. So let's see what it is. Because sometimes the county will actually go ahead and say, this is an address, but it could just be a small piece of land. So it's nice of them to have those notes in there. Let's go ahead, grab that. It's 179. I don't think I could copy it. So it's 175.9.
As Josh puts this in, we're going to start with these ones and then transition to the $200 properties for those of you who tuned in and said, wait a minute, he said 200. These are 1,000. Outrageous. Those are coming. So
we've even got $1.
We got one for $1.
Nothing active, but yeah, there's some stuff for $1. We can show active stuff for $200, but yeah, there is some inactive stuff, or there was a previous sale for $1. But yeah, we'll show it all.
It's
But so
coming.
yeah, here's that piece of land, and so you can tell, it makes sense why everybody has passed up on this since 2016, I think is what it was. Yeah, 2016. And so you're going to find a lot of stuff like this, but by continually coming back and being up to date on this, you can be the first one to get some good deals. So let's go ahead. Let's grab something from 2024. This one here, right here, maybe 163.17 dash. And if you haven't used Regrid before, make sure you download it. -5-6. Let's see. It's probably going to be this one, Comrie Ave, I bet. Yeah, North Comrie Ave. Do we lose it? 163.17. Okay, not bad. It looks like there's something on this already. It's right next to a Walgreens, though. Wow. I mean, to me, this looks kind of like it's a billboard or something, right? You guys seen
Look.
that as well?
Yeah.
I want to double check this. 163.17. Yeah, because I mean, it looks a little. That kind of looks too good to be true. Maybe I'm missing something here, but that is what it looks like. There is an extra one here. Let me see if we can line this up. That could very well be it, though. Which for $1,000. Yeah, okay, here we go. Whoa. Feels like we found a good one. They've got they're saying this is worth about $28,000 or $32,000. So this very well could be a piece of land. It looks like it's a piece of land right next to Walgreens.
Nice.
Impressive. Impressive. Yeah, we're not sure, what we're going to find sometimes on these things. Just looking for an image. Okay, so this is showing 163.1756. Okay, Prindle. It still is looking like a pretty sweet piece of land. I think it is next to something else. Let's just try one more time on this identification number. That's why we definitely want to be extremely careful with the parcel numbers, because maybe still it is that. We got to get to the bottom of it. But if it was this, that would be an exceptional deal. Let's do this again without the one. If we do it without the one, do we get something?
So for anybody tuning in, looks like we got a piece of land, $1,000, could be worth 20. Already has a billboard on it, and this could be something that you could be buying, perhaps renting out the billboard space for a couple hundred a month and walk right into some residual income. This is a great strategy for over-the-counter pieces of land that that pop up. And let us know who's tuning in the comments here, your name, your city, and any questions you have about tax lien and deed investing. We will dive into here as we go, and we shall dive into the $200 properties here coming up in a minute. And let's see.
Yeah, so it's looking, the map is showing this. Yeah, the map is showing that. Either way, though, if it's one of those, it's looking pretty good. So we got 0.29 acres. So yeah, land assessment for 2025, $32,258. So right now, the county is willing to accept a $1,000 bid on that parcel. And so that you're getting that, that's like a 32x return. If this thing is $32,000, and that's the county assessed. And so what you want to do is see, is the county assessed low? I mean, is it actually worth $70,000, or is the county assessed high and it's worth less? But that's one from 2024 that is looking good. We could just grab one more here. This one is Fontclair. What do we got here? Okay, so huge difference. So the last one, assessed value was $32,000. This one, full market value is 806. And so it's not always going to be the $32,000 spread, but there is one there. Let's just find one more. Yeah, so $1,000. So not as good, but deals do slip through the cracks. And what do we got there? Yeah, so it looks like you've got one really good deal on this property. So the N Comrie assessed 32,258. Want to just double check, of course, your parcel number. But yeah, so there's the first one, county held land, $1,000. Now let's go ahead and we're going to show you some city owned.
Josh, with
Yes.
this page, we can have the race is on challenge, because we know that when people watch, they go and often bid or attempt to buy the properties that we're showing. So last time we were on, or time before, and we were showing this, and the guy was on the phone with the county the second we showed it. So this is a great opportunity to save a bunch of time. And if you want, you can follow along, screenshot, and go call these guys. And that's why we give away the book. It's step-by-step instructions on how to research the title, the property, and everything. It's like we have this every time we go to a sale. It's in the description below for the steps to take to go and buy this property and really take your best swing at it. So that was the first one. So now let's move on to some of these $200 properties, and let's say hello to the stream. Let us know who's here. What's happening, Mr. James, Maria? We got Jess here. Welcome, Bella. Welcome, everybody. We're excited to dive in. Mary, good to see you. Toby, this is a live stream, and we're excited to be live. Brian, good to see you here. Uncle Billy tuning in. Good to see you here. And
nice.
we're going to dive into some of these properties, lots of familiar faces, and ask us some questions while you have us live. Any question about tax liens and deeds, and we will get to that here coming up. So without further ado, let's go find some of these $200 properties. And when my grandparents settled, I think in the 1800s, they homesteaded and got land super cheap. We thought those times were over, but there is still an opportunity for some cheap land that you will see here today. So on to the next.
All right. So I'm going to bring down the rules here. Here is the disposition of city-owned surplus real property policy in the beautiful view of city of Bay City in Michigan. So I'm just going to do a little Command F here, show you $200. So here we go. The minimum bid is $200 for parcels that are 6,000 square feet or less. Then exceptions can be made by the city manager if an extraordinary need or circumstance is recognized and the exception can be justified. So 6,000 square foot lots, $200, which is pretty incredible. And so I know that there was a lot of people who were attending the Michigan auctions this year, and some people got bid out, but it's never too late. And so let me show you what they've got here in Bay City, Michigan. So here we go. There's a list of they got different kinds of things here. So they got industrial, they've got, here we go. Yeah, we'll go city-owned properties. Okay, so here are all of the addresses. So it's not like it's more than a few, which is great. So here's the first one right here, 104 Picard Street, Bay City, Michigan. It's actually right next to a property. And so same thing as always, we've got the parcel number there. We can go ahead, we can copy that, throw it into regrid. Very good, 104 Picard. And there it is right there. I will say though, sometimes depending on the county or the city, they will have a bit more hoops to jump through. And so if it's not going to work for you, let's say some counties, they're fine selling it to someone who doesn't necessarily have an exit strategy. If you're just looking to flip it, that's fine. Other counties, they may require for you to either invest in it or build something on it. And so not all cities are the same. And so, yeah, look for the ones that have looser requirements and don't get bogged down with ones that are extremely strict. But yeah, here's a vacant piece of land. So 0.11 acres. What's that? 0.11 acres to feet. Okay, we're good. So 6,000 square feet and less, you can go ahead and you can make an offer $200 for this piece of land, which I got to tell you, that's pretty wild. You know, Netflix, I think, increased their subscription. Yeah, so less than the cost of a year of Netflix, you could actually own this piece of land, which is pretty wild.
To be
And they
fair, I bet you that land could command a premium to the Star Trek. Star Trek fans, any Trekkies would probably love to have some property on Picard Street. Corey,
I see where you went with that. At first, I was
picking
like,
up on
"What's
so far?
happening?" I got you now. Yeah, Picard Street. Yeah, that makes sense.
That was a classic growing up. Star Trek. Many nights sneaking up to watch it.
It's a good show.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, everybody. Welcome. Any questions, put them in the chat. We shall dive into them. This is a live stream. Richard, good to see you here. David, excellent to see you. Tiffany, thank you for the comment. And we will answer any questions. And as we do this stuff, remember, this is kind of the day in the life of the hunt for these properties. So a good thing to do is go back, watch it and follow along, or basically follow along as we go, because these are properties available now. So it's pretty fun to bring them to light. And our goal is to kind of show you how to fish so you can go and fish for your own. Because remember, there are 1,500 tax deed counties out there, and you can go search all of them for some of these great treasures. And we show the ones here on the channel, and we kind of do the fishing for you. So if you're interested, you got to act, because we've been known to flood some websites. We have a video that kind of goes a bit viral. So the ABC book will walk you through it as we see Josh there in the tax lien office headquarters.
Right? Yeah, there's because we've been talking about Zeus auction a lot lately too. And I've been noticing the numbers in Zeus auction have been going up. So you really can't delay with this stuff.
We hopped on a live auction. When was it? 2 weeks ago? Last week or the week before? We hopped on, and there was a live auction. It was 100K property at least, maybe even 150. Opening bid, what was it, like $1,000 on that thing?
Yeah, it was low.
It was low. So we took a swing, and then it got bid up. But the key thing was, like, we didn't have a super up-to-date boots on the ground image. So, we were willing to roll the dice a bit with a couple grand. But, that's do as we say, not as we do, because you want to do your research. You want to go through it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they just blindly go in and they don't research. They buy something. They don't see if there's grass cutting liens or county liens that don't get wiped out. The book that Corey is holding is in the description below. And you can see, even on Corey's own book, he has pages highlighted in the book. And he's written part of the book. So he's, still a student. Still a student of the game. So that is in the description there below. And if you're watching on a TV, on a television, you can scan this QR code, and you can download it on your phone. You can print it out and have that party there. Let's see. I see Josh's screen going, but maybe I'll just give a couple quick tips here on some over-the-counter tax deeds 101, as far as where to do it, how to do it, right? So remember, an over-the-counter tax deed is a property that didn't sell at the tax deed sale. It's sitting in the inventory right now. You don't have to bid. There's no auctions. You can cruise in and buy that property as is. One of the best places to start for this will be the county website, seeing what they have. The next thing you want to do is call them and ask them if you can get the list of properties that didn't sell. We have the deed directory below. You can look it up. If you're in Idaho, just boom, get the phone number, give them a call. You will be in good shape. Ask for the list. From there, do the title research. Make sure there's no outstanding code enforcements, grass cutting liens, things like that. Because if it's a $200 property and there's $10,000 in grass cutting liens that does not get wiped out, probably not a deal worth buying. However, the other side of that coin, maybe it's a $200 property with $30,000 in liens that nobody's been buying because of that. And you can get creative and go talk to the city or the county and say, hey, I want this property. Nobody's ever going to buy it because the liens are too much. Wipe out the liens. We'll get it back on the tax roll. We'll cut the grass, get her going. And sometimes they'll negotiate that off. So the next thing, make sure there's no HOA special assessments if it's in a homeowner association, and see if there is any type of redemption period. Most of the time with over-the-counters, there's not a redemption period. However, you want to learn the rules, and that's why we have these videos. That's why we have the book and the channel. Our goal is to give you guys as much free tax lien and deed information as possible to help you out. And, calling a spade here, answering the question of, if this works so good, why isn't everybody doing it? If it works so good, you guys wouldn't have a YouTube channel, you wouldn't be doing this. And at the end of the day, we're kind of the reluctant YouTubers. We never intended to grow a YouTube. And some of these videos took off. And the same way you guys like making money, we do too. We've done hundreds of tax deed auctions, but full transparency, this YouTube channel is also a business for us. And we give you guys as much as possible. And from there, the business side is, if you want one-on-one help, or maybe you want to come join us at one of these auctions and be taken by the hand, we can do that as well. So you can schedule a free call and we can see if it's a fit. If not, you can continue to enjoy the free content, but just calling a spade, right? Because so many people have their channel, they have programs, they make money off their YouTube channel, and they don't ever acknowledge it. So we're here to acknowledge it, provide value, do business, buy property, make money. That's why we're all here. So let's continue the party here. Josh, let's see, back to the screen.
All right. So I want to show you how you can really capitalize on an opportunity like this, and how you can really hone in and find the most valuable parcels, because a ton of these look good. I looked at another one here. It's this vacant land next to another house. Here it is, photo right here. So it looks good, right? And so there's actually a ton of parcels here. They all look like great parcels. And so how do you really hone in and maximize your profits and find the best deal? And so let me go ahead. I'm going to show you a little way that you can go ahead and do this. So let's go to Zillow.com. Everybody has access to this website. We're going to put in Bay City, Michigan. So we got tons of parcels that are available. What do we focus on? What are we going to select? What do we want to go ahead and make offers on? And so as far as finding a piece of land that is going to have it's going to be useful. It's going to have desirability. People are going to want it. How do we go ahead and find something like that? And so if I click for sale, we can see everything that's for sale right now. I've got it filtered, I think. Let's just get rid of land. And under more, you see this section right here. We're going to click more. There's going to be a drop down. I want to go ahead and uncheck everything under listing type and just leave new construction. Okay, so wow, there's not a whole lot happening here in in Bay City, Michigan, as far as new construction goes, but we do have a lead. And so you can see right here, someone has built two things brand new. We got 325, $400,000. So surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of new construction here, but this is how you would go ahead and you would focus on where you'd want to buy a vacant piece of land. And so if you found something that was around here in this pocket, in this area, then you potentially have an exit strategy already lined up, and you can go ahead and sell it to a builder. So for instance, let me show you Houston, Texas. We're there quite a bit. And so when we're looking at vacant pieces of land in Houston, Texas, we're doing the same thing. We are looking to see what kind of new construction is happening in the area. And so huge difference, of course, between Bay City, Michigan and Houston, Texas. So you can see these are the spots where there's new construction. So any spot where there's an influx or there's a whole lot that's happening, that's a place that we want to go ahead and flip a piece of land. And so the example doesn't work the best in Bay City, but the idea, the principle is the same. And so whenever you find these cheap pieces of land, $200, a couple $100, you may actually be able to score yourself a really, really good deal if you find that you're in a pocket where there is new development. That would be like the stars aligning, you could say. So if you find one of these, and they're close to new development that's happening, that would be a grand slam home run. And that's something that you would definitely want to pick up. And so maybe you get a piece of land for $200. It's in a hot spot. You could go ahead and sell it for, 50, which would be unreal. So that's just a quick tip on how to do that. But yeah, Bay City, Michigan, not a lot for new development, but what we can then also focus on, bringing these all back into the picture, is what is the median price per house in Bay City? What's the median price per home in Bay City, Michigan? So if it's $155,000, we could go ahead. We're looking at all of the property that's for sale in the area. Let's go ahead and set a minimum list price. So if it's 150, let us set it for 200. And now we can find the nicest pockets in Bay City, Michigan. And so if you found a piece of land that's in this pocket, fabulous. That's going to be an excellent place. Same thing here. So those are two different ways that you can use Zillow, which is a free website. You can filter down, find where the nicest areas are or where new construction is, so that then you can go ahead and tailor your search so that you find something that fits in these and score big profit.
Nice. All right. So a lot of folks are probably wondering, where in the heck should we go? And obviously we showed you the directory, but once again, want you to have a visual map here on your screen or on your desktop or on your phone. So I'll just share my screen here. Boom. Share the entire screen. And here we go. Share my screen. And what I realized is I may have a relative when you were looking on Picard Street. I think we might be related here. Like half of the pictures with him are like a meme. I'm sure I've seen 1,000 memes with this one. We've definitely seen memes on this one for sure. But for those of you tuning in, we were looking at a property on Picard Street. So went down that rabbit hole for a minute. Anyways, where to find them? Come to taxlienschool.com, click on the Knowledge Vault, and take a snapshot of this. This is the #1 free resource for tax lien and deed training that is out there. We haven't found anything. We have a whole army that fuels this site to help you as an investor basically save a bunch of time. So take a picture of this. And remember, anything in red is going to be a tax deed state. So Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, California actually is as well, but they're doing some tax liens as well. Alaska, Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. We have Virginia, North Carolina, Maine, and then hybrid states like Florida, Texas, Georgia. So these are going to be your states to find over-the-counter deeds. And the easiest thing to do is call them up and get the list. So this is one of the biggest questions is like, what are the tax deed states? What are the differences? So take a screenshot of this. The easiest thing to do, take a screenshot and you can either click on this or just get the directory, be like, okay, great. Washington is a deed state. And then open this thing up to Washington and then start calling and asking for lists. It's very, very simple. Everybody who wants to come here, we give you a week free. We're pulling auctions to try to make this as easy as possible for you guys. Go poke around. There's all sorts of articles to educate yourself on tax liens and deeds. If you click around, it is free. And so here we go. Understanding deed states. Once again, you can click, have an interactive map, and really learn about tax liens and deeds. Here, we wanted to create something that we wish we had when we got started. So that is a very valuable thing you guys can go check out to get in the game here. And let's see, we had a few questions pop in. And the question is, when selling a tax deed, what's your process? So remember, before you buy a tax deed, the important thing is to kind of figure out what you're going to do with it before you buy it. That is a huge rookie mistake, is buying something and then, oh, what do I do with it? Remember, you're going to make your money with the idea going in. When we were looking at that lot earlier, we saw a billboard. So pieces of land next to a pharmacy, there's a billboard. Cool. That's the strategy. You could buy it, put the billboard on it, collect money, or sell it to somebody who wants to put a billboard on it. If it's a simple house, you'll know the exit strategy there. If it's a piece of land, maybe it's farmland or an acreage or a lake lot, the selling process is relative to the entering process. Is there over the counters in California? Sometimes there is. It just depends. You have to really be on top of it, and it will happen in some of the smaller counties that are out there. Angel from Los Angeles, question. If you get a property in New York, do you have to travel all the way there to sell it? Or what should you do to sell it quickly? That's the beauty of the internet these days, is you don't have to travel there. You know, back in the day, that was the golden rule. You'd have to travel there to sell it. These days, we can use boots on the ground companies like Airtasker, TaskRabbit, We Go Look to get pictures, to get up-to-date photos of the property, and you'll be in good shape. We have people who watch this channel do tons of deals. They don't ever leave their home. Oklahoma does have some deeds. It does have some liens. They have a bit of both. Let's see here. How and where do you research if it's an HOA? Well, when you pull the title on the property, you will see if it's a homeowner association lien that is going up for foreclosure, like in Texas, it will say HOA. And that's one of the biggest mistakes. And like Josh says, just because it's a tax auction, just because a property's at a tax auction doesn't mean it's a tax auction property. It could be a homeowner association property who's using the courts and the sheriff to auction off and recoup. Remember, HOAs don't have the mortgages being erased. So very important. Let's see. Somebody has a question for Cam, Coach Cam Corey. If you can reach out there, that would be excellent. And Cam can get back to you here. What are some ways to cash flow a residential lot aside from finding a new builder? Well, one of the things you can do is sell it to the neighbor. You can seller finance it, collect some residual income off the property. If it's $1,000, sell it to the neighbor for $5,000, get 2,000 down, collect a couple $100 per month is always something to do. Let's see, lots. What are some ways to cash flow? Yeah, you could also, put the billboard up on it. There's a few ways, a few ideas you can go. Josh, any more ideas on that one?
I think the seller financing is going to be the best way to really squeeze out all of the juice, out of a residential lot. And so you could get something down, maybe like a couple $1,000s down, and then be collecting monthly interest. Something like that is a way that you could get like an extra 60%, off of your higher than your asking price, or even 80%. But yeah, those are some of the best ideas, I would say.
Nice. Let's see. Found usually builders want a clear title before they purchase. Do you run into this a lot? So it depends on the property. You're going to clear title if there's going to be, multi-thousands of dollars in it for you. So one of the best ways to clear the title is through tax title services. They'll do it within 30 to 60 days, and then you will be able to sell it. However, if it's a $500 lot and you're selling it for $3,000, odds are you would just quit claim deed it to the other person and be off on your way. But if there's, multiple $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in the mix, use tax title services to clear the title, and you'll be in good shape. John's saying, is it my imagination or very few properties in Texas? I think that's a bit of research. Texas has 254 counties. There are thousands and thousands of properties every month. So we got a ton of great we got a ton of great videos here on Texas that we go through and walk. And you can always just get this and give them a call, start going through it, sort it by county. You can go to Tax Lien School as well. And there's tons happening in Texas online and in person. It is one of the best places. Let's see, Josh, I see your screen going. Did you have something else?
Yeah, I think I did.
Great. Maybe guys, if you could land the plane on this one, and I will party on.
Yep. Sounds good,
Right,
Dustin.
here we go.
Peace.
Controls.
Peace.
Yeah, enterprise controls.
Ayo. I'll just remove you here.
Yeah, so one of our favorite things, I wouldn't say one of our favorite things to do, but something that we enjoy doing is you can just simply go in, and so realauction.com, this was a question about Texas. You can come in and you can see what property sold for. And so what you're looking for are places where property is selling for, like 30 cents on the dollar or less. That's how you know that you found a good auction. And so sometimes stuff gets bid up like crazy. So for instance, we've got a judged value here, 77,000, sold for 90. Now the judged value could be low if there's a lot of new builds in the area, or there's with gentrification, if that's been happening, and it's been happening so fast that the county can't keep up. That's a case where maybe this number is low or outdated. But then at the same time, I see 112 on 249. So we're kind of getting into that 45 cents on the dollar, 276 on 651. So, 40 cents on the dollar. Not bad. You want to see 30s though. 30s are pretty sweet. There was another deal though that I saw that I thought looked pretty good. And so when you start finding numbers that are in the 30 cents on the dollar, those are auctions that you want to pay attention to. Here we go. So $63,000 on 280, a judged value. Mind you, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is low or high, or if this is a judged value or not. But with numbers like that, that looks attractive. And so if you're attending auctions where stuff is selling, for 20, 30 cents on the dollar, then that's a place that you want to be. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time to do that due diligence. You could come in, and we actually have a VA that does that for us. So you can see here, these are auctions. This is all from September 2nd, 2025. So this is super fresh. And one of the tasks of the VA is to just go through, find anything that's selling for 30 cents on the dollar or less. So we got one here in Victoria County, sold for 11,500, and it is worth 76,000. This one right here, 3,400 Goodwin Ave. There's something off about that one. I've seen that before. We've also got Marcy Street here in Travis County. Holy cow! Look at that. 43 grand is what it sold for at the auction. A judged value 337,000. So mind you, again, this isn't the due diligence to know if this was a good deal or not. This is just simply looking at the numbers, and we can see, whoa, you want to check out Travis for sure. We've got Noises. Noises has had consistent deals each month. We've heard from a lot of people. Their first deal has been in this spot. So when it comes to looking for good spots in Texas, and this kind of idea can be transferred to everything else, go ahead and look at the previous sold data, and that's going to give you an indication of what the future could be like. But yeah, there's some good spots in Texas. This is all recent data. This is not outdated at all. This is just last month, which is sweet. And then I got one final thing for the people here, Corey.
All right.
I got one final piece of
the puzzle.
That I can pass on.
Nice.
So earlier we showed you the $200 land. We also showed you the $1,000 land. Here's just a quick little snippet of some other places. Some of these lists, though, are either going to be A, outdated, or B, they just don't have any inventory right now. But in this place called Paducah, Kentucky, when they do have surplus property, they do it by sealed bid. Minimum bid is $1. So $1 land in Kentucky. Pretty sweet. We got Galesburg, Illinois. $100 minimum bid. Amazing. We covered Bay City, Michigan today. We covered Johnstown, New York today. We got Oskaloosa, Iowa. $1,000 per lot if you are an adjacent owner or you're a nonprofit. $500. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. $1 vacant side lot. So pretty sweet there. Cleveland, Ohio, very popular for rentals. $200. City land bank side yard. Detroit, Michigan, land bank side lot, neighborhood lot. $100. Rochester, New York, unbuildable lots, $1. This is obviously a very different game. If you got an unbuildable lot, you're going to have to find a different exit strategy for it. But sometimes you find the right lot. It could be connected to 4 different houses, depending on where it is. It could be in the middle of a whole bunch of different properties, and you could potentially then sell it to someone next door. Rock Island, Illinois, 10 cents a square foot, $4 for adjacent owners. Toledo, Ohio, $150. Albany County, New York, $100. So the thing is, these kinds of opportunities are all over. It looks like here we've kind of focused on the east, more or less, but they are everywhere. And so it just takes a little bit of legwork to go ahead and find these, but we've given you some good examples today. The $200 lot that the $1,000 lot that we found in New York, that could be a really good deal. So there we go. There we go. There we go.
Nice. Well, that's sweet. Well, thanks everyone for hopping on. Dustin always does his little chat at the end of these, but I just want to make everyone aware that we do have the ABCs of Tax Lien Deed Investing book that's underneath. So if you're looking to really get started, a low entry level to get started, that's a great book. A low barrier of entry. It's very simple. It's free. You can just there's a link underneath this video, and let me put that QR code here on the screen. Kind of covering Josh a bit there, but you can scan that QR code. I'll leave it up there for a second, and you can get our book. So it has the you're close. You're pointing the other way, but
is it on the other way on my screen? It's right here.
You're reversed.
Wait, so then it's over here?
Yeah, but you have to really get out of your screen anyway. So it's free. You can download it, and then it's great. So it has the National County Directory, the National Tax Lien Directory, the Tax Deed Directory. And it's a great kickstart if tax liens and deeds are decently new to you. And there's obviously, I think there's 33 or 3,400 videos on this channel now, which is crazy. So there's lots of awesome stuff, lots of content there. If you are a little more familiar with liens and deeds or want a little bit more advanced help, we do have coaching and training that you can totally jump on board with. Just scan this QR code. Yeah, right. It is opposite this way. And we can book you in to get to chat with one of our success coaches, and they can really help you sort of speed up the process and answer any questions you might have and kind of give you a bit of a game plan to get going. So that being said, thanks for hopping on. I imagine we'll be live again on Thursday. And so be sure to check us out there. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below. We do our best to get back to people who ask questions in the comments. And if you're just hopping on now, go back and watch the whole thing. It's great. We talked about some really great properties, land for about $200 and over-the-counter tax deeds. And Josh just shared some really cool $1 properties, possibly starting at. So that being said, Josh, thank you for everything. And we'll see you all in the next stream. Have a great day, everybody.
Peace.